Gonzaga goes down in flames. Been a number one seed for the last 5 years, but there's no championship to show for it. This year, no different. They were surprised by Arkansas last night. And Gonzaga's come a long way as a program because it used to be we didn't talk about Gonzaga until we got to March. And then it'd be, man, they did it again. And there'd always be one or two guys that might play in the NBA. It was always the place where John Stockton played. But then you'd get guys like Dan Dickow, and you go, all right, Adam Morrison. It was a cute program, a underdog program. They're not underdogs anymore. Now they're a blue blood. And you had Jalen Suggs, a lottery pick last season. Chet Holmgren looks like he's going to be a top 5 pick. He's destined to be an Orlando Magic, but there's no national title there. And now you might be questioning, if you can't win the last 2 years, are you going to get over the hump? This is an elite program. You got a Hall of Fame coach. And if there's one thing Gonzaga's taught us over the last 20 years, it's to never underestimate that small school in the state of Washington. But here is Mark Few after Gonzaga loses to Arkansas.
You know, we started this year number one, and we were the only one that could hang on to it. Everybody else kept falling off every 2 weeks, and my guys held it till the bitter end and did a good job taking everybody's best shots. So I think after a week or so, we'll be able to look back. It's hard. We're not used to losing in this round over these last 4 or 5 years. We've been able to advance past this round and keep it going, so I think we're a little bit in shock.
I know we give too much credit, too much blame to the coach, but when it comes to these games, you invest in that coach. And I know it sounds like I'm slighting Mark Few. Eric Musselman can coach with anybody in the country. And that's why I said Arkansas was a 9.5-point underdog. And I said they could win this game. Here is Eric Musselman talking about everybody saying Arkansas had no chance.
We believed, nobody else did. We read everything. I'm telling you, we put it up on our screen every single meal. Thank you to everybody that said we had no chance.
That's great.
Yeah, use it as motivation. He probably didn't use my quote where he says, everybody says we have no chance. Well, Dan Patrick said we have a chance. But he's just saying that because he's friends with my wife. It'd be great if he shouted me out. But worked with Danielle Sargent, his wife, at the mothership. Always rooting for Arkansas.
Yeah, that's right, Dad.
This is the third time in tournament history multiple number one seeds lost on the same day in the Sweet 16 or earlier. Last time was March of 1995. Arizona goes down in flames. Villanova looked good. Houston, got to give them a lot of credit because I knew it was going to be a slugfest. Kelvin Sampson did a great job with Houston this year. Duke, that's one of those. They're playing Texas Tech. Like, if you're going to go out, if Coach K doesn't go to the national title game, I don't want him going out late at night against Texas Tech. No offense, but Texas Tech, unless Bob Knight was still coaching there, but, you're like, come on. Or even Chris Beard, but he's now at Texas. Sweet 16 tonight, St. Peter's versus Purdue, Providence versus Kansas, North Carolina, UCLA, Iowa State, and Miami. There's no pressure on me today. My brackets, they're done. Nothing to see here because I had Arizona and Gonzaga meeting for the national championship. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Yes, Paulie.
Dan, if your bracket is dead, mine is already buried and in the casket and under the ground. That's mine.
Here's a one that only Paul could probably come up with because it's very Gonzaga is a great basketball program, a nice basketball program. Big difference between the two.
Yeah, Paulie.
You can't be a great basketball program without a title. Now, you could throw back in my face, Dan Marino was a great quarterback, and no one's going to argue that. But can Gonzaga be considered a powerhouse?
But could I say the Dolphins are a great franchise?
They had titles in the 70s.
Yes.
If Gonzaga's had nothing.
Yeah.
No offense. They've been fantastic to watch.
But how long in between championships? Like, when do you become great and how long do you become great or stay great if you don't win championship? Oh, the back row is fired. Yes, Eaton.
Like UCLA.
Yes.
Are they currently great or nice?
But they won one with Ed O'Bannon.
That's a while ago.
That was a while back.
Okay.
They're still kind of dining out on
Toby Bailey.
Great call.
Thank you.
Earl Watson?
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
Can we start the poll question with, given the conference they're in, ... the whole mid-major thing that they hate so much?
Do you have something to say?
I like that poll question because there's definitely an argument to be made with that
Well,
cutting down the nets.
you got to pick?
I would go nice over great.
A nice program.
Yeah. I would say very nice, but that's not one of the choices.
They're a relevant program. That's somewhere between nice and great. Because greatness comes with championships. Yes, Eden.
If you listen to that soundbite that you played earlier today with Mark Few,
yeah,
and he was saying, hey, everybody's taking their best shot at us, and I'm just happy that these guys, that's a big-time program comment, not an underdog nice program comment.
Yeah, I hate when I hear that. Like, you should take it as a compliment. Yes, they gear up for you. They do that for Duke every year. They're going to do that for Tom Brady this year. And you gear up against the best. Yeah, Marv.
Here's my thing. So will Mark Few ever be on the hot seat at Gonzaga?
No.
So they're relevant. They're not a great program because a great program would suggest that a couple losing seasons or a couple of high seeds and you don't win it all, there's some pressure.
Okay. Is John Calipari on the hot seat? Wouldn't he be more so on the hot seat?
Kind of hot seat-ish right now.
Yes, hot seat-ish. Yes, Polish.
So in the last 2 decades, what resume would you want? Gonzaga, relevant every year, going to the tournament, high seed, or Florida, who won 2 national titles, 06, 07, and hasn't really done much before or after. But that little run they had with Noah and
Billy Donovan. I would rather be Gonzaga. I want to be relevant every year.
But Florida's got back-to-back. Billy Donovan's got them.
I know, but you have to remind people. Now, you might go Gonzaga and people go, they lost again. No. Oh, they didn't win the championship again. Yes, Tom.
But to get past the whole, but you're in that conference, that's why you're 31-1 or 32-0 every year. It's like play some, real teams. The only way to get past that is to go all the way, win 6 straight games, and cut down those nets at least one time.
All right.
Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Todd. Well, then maybe they should join the Pac-12.
Maybe they should.
All right.
We're sort of making a pro-rel argument right now.
Yeah.
You need to be promoted up into the big boys, or you need to be relegated down into the other guys.
Yeah, it's a relevant program. When you go all in and you get the number 1 pick and Chet Holmgren or the number 1 recruit and he comes in, he had a rough night. I didn't think the officials were fair to him on a couple of those fouls that were called. But, you got to show up in the first half. But what I saw was Arkansas was going to be more physical. They took it to Gonzaga. And Chad Holmgren paid the price. And look, he's a project. He's got potential. But this is what basketball is now. You can be one and done and not be anywhere near a finished product. And he might not be for 3 or 4 years. And he might not be even when he gets into the NBA. It is there for 3 or 4 years. There's a lot of potential there, but he didn't show up in the first half. And then you get into foul trouble, and Arkansas got every loose ball. I love watching that. If it's a 50-50, who's getting the ball, and Arkansas got the ball almost 90% of the time. And I thought that was a really strong statement. Rebounds, they weren't afraid. A couple of big blocks in there, and you send Gonzaga packing. All right, we'll take a break. We'll get to phone calls coming up. 877-3DP Show. Email address dp@danpatrick.com. Fritzy has Gonzaga mock headlines.
I'm also bitter because I had the Zags winning it all over Arizona. So, that's why maybe I'm taking my shots at how they should be considered a nice program instead of a great program.
All right.
So there is some anger there.
Okay. All right.
Especially seeing all those balls going to the other team and not the Zags.
All right.